Kester did not tell anyone about this matter. He kept it buried in his heart and told no one. The entire Mori family, only a few elders, knew a little about it. The 18-year-old 4th-level low-level heavenly spirit master is considered an incomparable genius even in the entire Chi'er province. If people know that Loken has only been practicing for more than 2 years, I am afraid that in the entire Salem Empire, will cause a huge storm. Such a powerful cultivation talent is enough to shock the world. If it were not for practicing, Luo Kuan's body would get worse and worse, and many elixir masters asserted that even if Luo Kuan continued to practice no matter how much he is nursed back to health, he will not live to be 30 years old. Otherwise, with such a powerful successor, the future of the Mori family can be said to be bright, but now Kester sees that Jason is just after a few casual inspections. Loken's biggest secret was instantly exposed, which immediately shocked the hearts of Kester and others. Master Jace, this Kester Te opened his mouth wide and was so horrified that he could hardly speak for a long time. After calming down for a while, he continued, Lord Jace, according to what you say, Loken should be very strong in the cultivation of the wood element, but why is his body so weak, and with practice, instead of getting stronger, his body becomes even weaker? According to Jason, Loken's wood spirit body should have some kind of extremely strong physique, and he is a natural wood spiritual master. However, Loken's physique is incomprehensible to Kester and the others. And Luoquan was also staring closely at Jason. He, who had always been extremely casual, felt his heart pounding at this moment. Jason smiled and said, this wood spirit body is an extremely weird physique. People who possess it are naturally able to communicate with the wood spirit elements between heaven and earth. Cultivation is also extremely fast, but there is also an extreme. The biggest disadvantage is that it requires a lot of vitality to nourish, and the body of the wood spirit will continuously absorb people's energy and life force. Unless the spiritual master is promoted to the 7th level imperial spiritual master and can merge with the spiritual elements between heaven and earth, rely on the spiritual elements between heaven and earth to nourish the body of the wood spirit. Otherwise, if the life force of the wood spirit is sucked away by the body of the wood spirit, it will lead to the death of the spiritual master. This is the cause of Luo Kuan's illness. As for Luo Kuan, why did Kuan's body not become stronger after practicing, but instead became weaker? That's even simpler. In fact, the higher the level of Luo Kuan, the stronger he is in resisting the wood spirit body. If he reaches the 7th level, the Imperial Spirit Master is completely fearless. It's just that at that time, Loken's vitality was weakened by the body of the wood spirit, and this practice also consumes a lot of energy and nutrients from the human body. This led to Loken's, the more you practice, the weaker you become. This is like drinking poison to quench thirst. If you don't drink it, your nose will die. But after drinking it, although you won't feel thirsty, the toxins in the water will still poison you to death. That's it. Listen. Following Jason's words, everyone present nodded secretly. When the 5th level senior elixir masters in the past checked, these elixir masters only found out that Loken's vitality was much weaker than that of ordinary people, but no one could ever find out the cause of the weakness and could only prepare it. Some elixirs for strengthening the body and improving vitality were given to Loken. Now Jason's explanation made everyone suddenly realize. Kester said nervously, Lord Jace, I don't know. Is there any way to cure this wood spirit body or completely eliminate it? Cure, remove the wood spirit body. Jason was stunned when he heard Kester's question, and looked as if he was looking at an idiot. The body of the wood spirit, also known as the body with 5 elements attributes, is an extremely rare physique in the entire continent. On the Stern continent, for tens of thousands of years, only a handful of people have possessed the body with 5 elements attributes. And it's generally little known. This kind of physique is extremely powerful. Generally speaking, as long as it is a spiritual master with a body with 5 elements attributes, the lowest achievement is usually an 8th level imperial spiritual master. From Jason's understanding, there are no known spiritual masters who have appeared in the history of the entire continent. There are only 7 people with 5 element attributes in total. Except for one who is an 8th level Emperor spiritual master, the rest are all 9th level Holy Spirit masters. They can be called Holy Spirit masters and attract the attention of the world. Of course, it is not excluded that some 5-element attributes, before the body grows up, it is in ruins, but as long as it grows up, the body with 5 elements attributes will definitely become the most influential figure in the contemporary era, powerful in the world. Therefore, when I heard Kester ask if he could get rid of this wood spirit, when he was naked, Jason would inevitably look at him like an idiot. Not to mention that Jason didn't have it. Even if he did, Jason wouldn't do this. Doing such a thing would be punished by God. This wood spirit body is not actually a disease. You only need to take a large amount of 6th level or above. The spiritual potion that can increase the vitality of the wood attribute can resist the life vitality absorbed by the wood spirit body, but this is just it only temporarily slows down the weakness of his body. More importantly, Luo Kuan must continue to practice. Only after he reaches the 7th level of Emperor Spirit Master can he truly resist the damage caused by the wood spirit body. Jason looked at Kester and said calmly, "How long will it take for Loken to be promoted to the 7th level Imperial Spiritual Master? Moreover, he will also need to take the 6th level wood attribute vitality elixir." Listen, after hearing what Jason said, Kester and the others suddenly turned pale. Kester is now the strongest person in the entire Mori family, but he is only a 6th level intermediate spiritual master. A 7th level Imperial Spiritual Master. For the Mori family, they are already someone they can only look up to. In Kester, they thought, although Loken's promotion was fast, it would take at least several decades to become a 7th level Imperial Spiritual Master. For such a long time, Loken simply couldn't afford to wait. As for the 6th level elixir, in the entire Chi'er province, there is only a 6th level intermediate elixir master under the command of the 8th level Emperor Eludiba, the Emperor. He is not a force like the Mori family at all. Able to climb. Although Jason told all the reasons for Loken's condition, Kester and others were completely powerless. This makes Kester feel extremely painful. The saddest thing in life is not that he cannot save the lives of his relatives, but that he knows the way but cannot do it because he is not capable enough. Lord Jace Kai Kester immediately rushed in front of Jason, with pleading in his eyes. "Lord Jace, please save Loken, I believe you must have a way." In Kester's heart, Jason, who has discovered the source of Loken's disease, is now his only hope. As for the other 6th level elixir masters, with Kester's status, he can't reach that level at all, and he doesn't have enough benefits to impress others. In fact, what Kester doesn't know is that as long as the physique of Loken's wood spirit body is revealed, the top masters of the wood system on the mainland who know this physique will definitely rush to take Loken as his body. Disciple and tried every means to eliminate the side effects of the wood spirit body from Luokuan Hugh. Luokuan was at the side, motionless in a daze, wondering what he was thinking in his heart. "Chief Kester, you don't have to be like this. Don't worry, as long as I'm here, I will definitely cure Loken's illness." Jason smiled. This Loken can be said to be a life-saving grace for him. With Jason's strength, it is not that difficult to relieve Loken from the side effects of the wood spirit body. More importantly, for this Jason also has a good impression of Loken, and he doesn't want such a strong man in the future to die from the side effects of this wood spirit body. This is like a person who can continuously give out gold, but he is actually killed. It would be a pity to be crushed to death by the gold he created. "Master Jess, thank you so much." Kester was so excited that he could hardly speak, and then scolded Loken beside him, "You bastard, if you don't come here quickly, come and see Master Jace." Loken's whole body was filled with excitement, and he walked up to Jason in front of everyone's eyes, then knelt down heavily, and said with a wring of his head, "Lord Jace." Loken begged the Lord to accept Loken as his disciple. Luokuan said suddenly. This move of Luokuan immediately stunned everyone present, and they all looked at Luokuan in astonishment. Kester on the side opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but he never said it. With Jason's strength, it is definitely more than enough to be Loken's master. And if Loken really becomes Jason as a disciple, I think he would be more concerned about Lokuyi's illness. Jason's face was startled, and he looked at Lokun. And Lokun looked at Jason expectantly, there was determination in his eyes. This Luoquan knows that I have a good impression of him and wants me to accept him as my disciple. Jason didn't care, nodded and said, okay, I will accept you. As a disciple, Great Luoquan was so excited that he almost jumped up. He was so happy that he knelt down again. Disciple pays homage to the master. Kester and others on the side also had expressions of joy on their faces. Well, from today on, you are my second disciple. You stand up first. Tonight, come to my room alone. Jason ordered. Yes, Master, Lokun said happily. My dear, although this Jace is very powerful, he looks like he is only around 20 years old. He actually has 2 apprentices. The rest of the people present couldn't help but marveled when they heard Jason's bottle. Chief Kester, I am also a little tired, so I will go back to rest first. Master Locke, you can continue to practice the preparation of the 5 elements potion and the fire spirit potion in this laboratory. If there is anything you don't understand, then come to me again, Jason said. Yes, Master Jace, I will ask my servants to take you to your place right away. Kester said hurriedly. Father, why not let me take Sherwin there? Lokun hurriedly stepped forward and said. That's fine, Luoquan, you can take Mr. Jace down to have a good rest. If Mr. Jace has any instructions, you don't need to inform us, just do it directly, Kester laughed. Lokun nodded and said to Jason, Master, please follow me. Jason nodded slightly, gestured to Kester and others, and then followed Lokun out of the laboratory. It seems that Lokun has made great contributions to the family this time, please. A real great god is back. Looking at the disappearing figures of Jason and Lokun, someone in the crowd sighed. This Master Jace is too terrifying. At such a young age, not only is he extraordinary in strength, but he can actually use such a strange method. Allowed Master Locke to advance to the 5th level of Senior Elixir Master. Even Lokun's illness that the masters couldn't see was discovered by him. This knowledge must be too profound. Yes, I don't know which family can cultivate such a powerful child. Jace, this name has never been heard in the Empire before. Everyone sighed with emotion. No matter what, as long as Lokun's disease can be cured, I won't have any worries in my heart, Kester murmured in his mouth. Now there is no need to worry about Lokun's condition. What we have to do is to prepare well for the family competition in 3 days, the Loki family. This time Mori, will compete in the family competition. The family will definitely trample you under their feet. Kester secretly said in his heart. In the backyard of the Mori family, in a rather luxurious and tidy guest room, Jason told Lokun not to be disturbed, and then walked into the room alone. To be honest, at the beginning, Jason just used special methods to promote Locke to the 5th level of Advanced Elixir Master in order to repay a favor to the Mori family and the quota in the secret realm of the Spirit Pool. However, after accepting Locke, after Kun became his apprentice, things became different. The strongest member of the Mori family is Kester, a 6th-level intermediate spiritual master, and since the Loki family and the Mori family are in Rainbow City, cut it in 2. If you think about it, your strength won't be much stronger. Now that Locke has been promoted to the 5th level of Senior Elixir Master, there should be no problem in winning this family competition. Jason, I couldn't help but think in my heart. But no matter what trump card and strength the Loki family has, I will definitely get the quota to enter the secret realm of the Spirit Pool this time. If something unexpected happens, then I will have to take action myself. Jason in the Salem Empire, he has been traveling in the south for such a long time just for the Blood Abyss essence, which is related to the key to Jason's promotion to the 5th level sect spiritual master. Now that he finally got the news about the Blood Abyss essence, Jason naturally does not want to miss this opportunity. Sighing secretly in his heart, Jason put aside these thoughts. He was not an indecisive person to begin with, and he was very clear about grudges and grudges. He would repay favors and repay any grudges. What's more, now Luoquan is even more indecisive. After becoming his disciple, he naturally wanted to seek some wealth for the Mori family. Thinking of this, Jason came to the table in the living room, waved his right hand, and a set of amethyst utensils immediately appeared on the table. At the same time, a lot of elixir materials also appeared all over the table at the same time. In the space ring on Jason, a large number of rare elixir materials from the territory of chaos were placed. I want to nourish Loken's body well. It required a wood-type vitality elixir of level 6 or above, so Jason could only prepare it on the spot. After taking out all the wood-type materials, Jason combined the situation he had previously observed from Loken's body, and after thinking about what elixir he needed to prepare, he suddenly started to move. Jason's hands instantly formed phantoms, and his eyes flickered. The materials on the table quickly merged and reacted with Jason's combination. With his current peak physical strength of the 7th level, plus Avoga, with Dro's law and his keen spiritual perception, it is no longer a problem for Jason to prepare a 6th level elixir. An hour later, a bottle of dark green elixir was quietly placed on the table. Jason quickly diluted the green bottle of elixir into 5 bottles of elixir, and the materials and other things were put into the space ring. After doing all this, Jason immediately walked outside the house. Squeak. The door opened, but Jason saw a figure standing there quietly, not far away. It was Loken. "Loken, why are you here?" Jason said in confusion. "Master, my father asked me to invite you to the family hall for dinner, but you told me not to let anyone disturb you before, so I stood here and waited for you to come out." Loken had a smile on his face. Jason smiled. He also knew that with the strength he had shown, Kester would definitely hold a family banquet for him, but Jason was really unwilling to attend such an occasion. Sin shook his head and said, "Go and tell your father. You don't have to wait for me. You can just get me some food and bring it to the room. I still have something to say to you." "Yes, master." Loken responded immediately and ran out of the yard. Jason returned to the room alone. After a moment, there was a faint sound of footsteps outside the door. "Master," Loken said outside the door. "Come in." Jason said indifferently. Luokuan opened the door, but he was carrying a half-person-high vegetable box in his left hand. After arriving at Jason's living room, he took out the vegetables in the vegetable box one by one. The entire vegetable box was divided into 5 layers. Each layer, 3 dishes were placed, 15 dishes in total, almost filling the table. There were all kinds of rare dishes, plus a small bucket of rice, but Jason couldn't help but roll his eyes. He said he would let Loken get some food at will, but he didn't expect that he actually got a full table. But Jason didn't say much. Presumably it was Kester who arranged it. "You haven't eaten either, right? Sit down and eat together." After sitting down, Jason ordered Loken beside him. Loken was about to speak, but was interrupted by Jason. "Sit down and eat when I ask you to sit down and eat." Jason said indifferently. Loken thought Jason was angry, so he hurriedly filled up the rice and started eating. However, he basically only cooked the rice, but didn't eat much. Jason didn't care. After eating, he walked towards the back room. "Come in after you finish eating." Jason walked into the back room. Before his boat was warm, Luokuan walked in obediently. "Luokuan, since you have become my disciple, then as a teacher of course I have to give you something." Jason said. Loken stood aside respectfully and said nothing. Jason waved his hand. 5 bottles of light green elixir suddenly appeared on the table. At the same time, there were an ancient scroll. These 10 bottles of spiritual elixirs are 6th grade high-grade wood vitality elixirs. Take 1 bottle tonight. In the future, whenever you feel weak on a full moon night, take 1 bottle. If you don't feel weak, there is no need to take it. Jason looked at Loken. "According to my estimation, these 5 bottles of 6th grade high-grade wood-type life vitality potion are enough to prevent your body from becoming weak for 3 years. 6th grade high-grade wood-type life vitality potion. Lokuan's heart twitched violently, and his eyes suddenly widened. For him, who lives in the Mori family, a 5th-level senior elixir master is already an extremely rare existence. Back then, the family wanted to his illness cost a lot of money, but he only hired a few 5th-level high-level elixir masters. The 6th-level low-level elixir masters were not invited by their family at all, but now Jason took them out all at once. 5 bottles of 6th-grade high-grade elixir made Luoquan instantly stunned. Even the most powerful elixir master in the entire Chi'er province is only a 6th-level intermediate elixir master from the Phil family. No one in the entire Chi'er province can prepare a 6th-level high-grade elixir. And this is a volume of low-grade moon-level wood-based skills. Before you reach the 7th-level Emperor Spiritual Master, take it and practice it for the time being, and wait until you find other more powerful wood-based skills, and then give it to you to practice. Jason also handed over the simple scroll on the table. Luoquan was stunned. Master, Luoquan's feet were all excited. Read. The wood technique he is practicing now was only found for him by his father at an auction. It is a middle-grade star-level technique. Although the Mori family is quite powerful in Tianhong City, the moon-level skills are not something that the Mori family can obtain. Now Jason just took it out. For Jason, Lokan originally only had incomparable admiration in his heart. At the same time, getting along the way also made Lokan have an inexplicable belief in Jason, and Jason taught Locke how to prepare the 5th-level high-grade spiritual potion. As well as his wisdom when treating him, he was deeply impressed, so Luoquan had the idea of becoming a disciple. But now that Jason became his master, the meeting gift he gave him made him feel he was deeply shocked. At the same time, Luoquan also felt huge pressure from Jason's power. He took out the 6th-level high-grade elixir as soon as he asked for it, and the skill was a moon-level skill as soon as he used it. He even had to looking for a more powerful technique for himself. Luoquan, as the young master of the Mori family, is not a person who has never seen the world, but at this moment, he felt the power of his master. Go back and practice hard. With this wood-type vitality potion, you don't have to worry that your body will not be able to bear it. I know your personality is relatively laid back, but I hope you will never live up to your teacher's expectations. Jason solemnly speak out. Yes, master. Lokan nodded heavily, his eyes extremely firm at this moment. In Lokan's heart, Jason is like a mountain towering into the sky. You never know how tall he is. You can only start from there. In the misty clouds, I could feel his heaviness and breadth, and in the evening of the next day, Master Locke, who had gone to the provincial capital, also rushed back. He had been identified as a 5-year-old by the Elixir Medicine Union in the provincial capital. A high-level elixir master. In the next few days, Jason practiced quietly in his room, unwilling to waste any of Renran's time. During such training, the Tianhong City family members, the 3-day deadline for the competition has quietly arrived. Rainbow City. A medium-sized city in Chi'er province, the southern province of the Salem Empire. It was established shortly after the founding of the Ceylon Empire and has a history of thousands of years. It is a veritable ancient city. In the early morning, the sun jumped into the sky early, and the warm sunshine spread gently on the earth like cotton wool, bringing life and hope to all things on the earth. In Tianhong City, dense and noisy sounds came from all over the city. It is coming from corners and streets. It is now the end of April. Spring is coming and everything is recovering. It is the most beautiful stage of the year. People get up from bed early and start their busy day. However, today, the atmosphere in Tianhong City, but it is a little different from the past, because today is the day of the competition between the 2 major families in Rainbow City, the Loki family and the Mori family. Unless there are any special circumstances, such a competition is held once every 10 years. The so-called One Mountain. It is difficult to tolerate 2 tigers. What it will decide will be which family will take more initiative in Tianhong City in the next 10 years. Faced with such a huge event, many people went to the square in front of the city lord's palace early. Such a grand event has not happened in Tianhong City for 10 years, and it has attracted the attention of the entire Tianhong City. Even in some cities near Tianhong City, many people have come to Tianhong City. Among them, there are many the spies of the powerful families in the city. This competition will affect the families in the nearby cities. If they want to have business dealings with the families in Tianhong City, which family should they choose to cooperate with? In the southern district of Tianhong City, in the Mori family mansion, a group of families, the powerful people all stood quietly in the hall. Among such people are the patriarch of the Mori family, Kester, guest master Locke, Marconi of the Mori family and other elders, as well as the great steward Honuosi and other stewards and core disciples. Such people are the core strength of the Mori family. However, at this moment, they are all standing quietly in the hall, seeming to be waiting for something. At this moment, two figures slowly walked in from outside the hall door. The leader was Locus, the young master of the Mori family, and behind him was a young man wearing a blue-gray linen robe. Seeing this young man, everyone in the hall couldn't help but straighten up their expressions, with a hint of respect. "Lord Jace, you are here." Chief Kester stepped forward with a smile on his face. "Chief Kester, there is no need to be so polite. Now you and I are both the elders of Locus, so why bother?" Seeing the grand crowd in the hall, Jason couldn't help but shook his head and said, "Haha." Kester smiled, and then said loudly, "Everyone, since the time has come, let's set off now." At Kester's order, everyone in the Mori family immediately left the hall and walked toward the City Lord's mansion in Rainbow City. The City Lord's mansion is located in the center of Rainbow City, in the City Lord's mansion. In front of it, there is a huge square, and above the square, there is a stone platform several feet high. This stone platform is called the competition platform by the people of Rainbow City. This stone platform existed when Tianhong City was built. For thousands of years, despite the erosion of time, the families in Tianhong City have changed from generation to generation without leaving many traces on it. And here, it has always been the area that attracts the most attention in Rainbow City, because whenever there is a conflict between some well-known forces in the city but they don't want to start a war, they will choose to compete here. Today is the day of the competition between the Loki family and the Mori family, the two most powerful families in Rainbow City. It is already in the morning, and it is still early in the sky, but the square around the competition platform is already filled with dense crowds of people, and in the east of the stone platform, close to the City Lord's palace, there is a large seat, which can look down at the entire stone platform and square. Those who can sit here are the powerful members of Tianhong City. At this moment, a large number of people are already sitting on this stone platform. Most of the people on the seats near the north are figures wearing yellow robes. It can be seen from the clan emblems worn on the chests of these people that they are all members of the Loki family, one of the two major families in Rainbow City. As time went by, more and more people were on the square, and the roaring noises went straight into the sky, turning into a huge sound wave, like ripples. The noise spread out so that the entire Tianhong City could hear the noise here. When the square was gradually filled with people, a large group of people finally appeared slowly at the entrance and exit of the square. Their appearance quickly caused a commotion in the square. "People from the Mori family, they are here." The Loki family and the Mori family are both the two major families in our Rainbow City. They each occupy half of the city. I don't know which family is more powerful. I think it should be the Mori family. In the family competition 10 years ago, the Mori family won. 10 years later, the Mori family should have become even stronger. It is definitely Luo Ji family. The Mori family won a good victory 10 years ago, but for their young master Locus, the Mori family spent a lot of financial resources in recent years. Instead of increasing, the family property decreased a lot, and that, however, the Luomu family has always been developing at a high speed. I am afraid that the Majia family has been left behind a long time ago. Master Locus, alas, a kind-hearted person like Master Locus could have suffered from such a terminal disease. Otherwise, if he becomes the patriarch of the Mori family in the future, we people in Rainbow City will be in danger. Family wealth, family property, hey, what do you know? What this family competes with is whether the two families have strong military strength. In the face of strong strength, any financial resources are useless. As far as I know, the Loki family and the Mori family both have a 5th-level intermediate elixir master, and the patriarchs of the two families are also 6th-level intermediate spiritual masters. According to my estimation, this time there will be a big competition between the two families. There will definitely be a battle between Chief Birkby and Chief Nakister. Which of the two families is stronger or weaker depends on which of the two chiefs is stronger. That makes sense. That's what I did amid countless comments from the surrounding people. Members of the Mori family slowly climbed onto the stone platform, and then stopped on the seat on the south side of the seat. Luokusi, just when Jason and others were sitting down, a voice as clear and sweet as a wind chime suddenly came from the side, and then a fiery red rake shadow quickly jumped into Jason's eyes like a flame elf. You brat, where have you been these days? It makes me easy to find. This is a blue-eyed girl with long pink hair, who looks about the same size as Locus. As soon as she came up, a pair of watery eyes stared at Locus, and she made a vicious sound. Seeing this girl, Locus's expression changed suddenly, and he leaned to the side where Jason was. It was like a mouse seeing a cat. It's as ugly as it is. Seeing Locus's actions, then the girl looked at Jason curiously, and a wave of spiritual power suddenly radiated from her body, trying to find out Jason's reality. Locus's face changed hurriedly, and he said, "Fey Ruth, this is my master, don't be presumptuous." Feeling the spiritual consciousness released by this girl, Jason couldn't help but be stunned. With his strength, he could naturally feel that this girl's spiritual consciousness was so powerful that she had actually reached the level of a 5th-level low-level sect spiritual master. However, this girl seemed to be about the same age as Locus, and even a little younger than Locus. This was the first time Jason encountered such a young 5th-level low-level sect spiritual master after his rebirth. Your master? Falut showed a trace of curiosity on his face. Locus, when did you have such a young master? Falut looked at Jason with curiosity. The previous temptation, under Jason's deliberate restraint, she actually didn't feel Jason's reality, which made Falut full of curiosity. With her talent and strength, she rarely encounters anyone better than her among her peers. This is the master I just became, please show me some respect. Speaking of Jason, Locus, who was as timid towards Felt before, became tougher. Felt has seen Senior. The girl suddenly saluted Jason, showing great respect. Locus on the side was immediately dumbfounded. He knew Felt's character very well. She had always been fearless. Locus had been made miserable by her before. Incomparably, why did he change his gender all of a sudden now? Lord Odlin is here. At this moment, a loud voice sounded in the square, and then, accompanied by many guards, an old man walked towards the middle seat of the competition stage. Grandpa is here. I have to leave first. I will go find you after the competition is over. Seeing the old man, Falut's face couldn't help but change color slightly. After saying a few words to Locus in a hurry, she said he walked towards the old man. After seeing the girl leaving, Locus took a long breath and said, Master, this old man is the Lord of Rainbow City, Viscount Ausui Lingers, Falut. She is his granddaughter. Although Felt is quite cute, she has a terrible temper. Speaking of Felt, Locus had a frightened expression on his face. It was obvious that he had had a bad relationship with her. Chen looked back on his experience. Seeing his disciple Locus, who had such a cheerful personality and always had a good temper, showing such an expression, Jason couldn't help but want to laugh. But soon, Jason's brows furrowed slightly. He frowned and murmured, Gers, why does this last name feel so familiar? He kept recalling it in his mind. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, and his eyes suddenly fell on the old man and felt's body was before Jason was reborn. In his previous life, among the 4 founding families of the Lingdo Empire, there was the Gura's family, whose leader was a 9th-level Holy Spirit Master and had met Jason several times. Like him, he also asked Jason for a magical elixir. Some brothers actually forgot about Jason's first apprentice. Well, Jason's first apprentice was a Kimi Sui from the Chaos Territory. He was the guy who became the #1 spiritual medicine master in the spiritual god calendar in his previous life. His second apprentice was Locus, is the body of the wood spirit. Is this Odlin Guras the same family as the Guras family of the Lingdo Empire? Jason couldn't help but wonder. In his previous life, he devoted himself to the study of elixirs. He didn't know much about the ins and outs of these powerful families. He didn't even know the reasons for the outbreak of the mainland war 1,000 years later. Naturally, the Guras family, which founded the country, had no way of understanding it. But soon, this doubt was forgotten by him. As for the origin of these families, Jason didn't want to know so clearly. In his previous life, he stood at the pinnacle of the continent. Which family would not tremble in front of him? In this life, he, who aims at the god of medicine, will not be bothered by these side effects. Worrying about trivial matters. However, in Jason's opinion, it is unlikely that this Guras and the later Nagyars family are the same. Because in Jason's memory, the Guras family in the future seemed to be a powerful force on the mainland before the Lingdo Empire was established. In an empire like the Salem Empire, there are 2 types of city lords. One is the rulers of Rainbow City, like the Mori family. If Kester himself has a title, he can apply to the empire to become the city lord of Rainbow City. If the empire approves it, then Kester will be the city lord of Rainbow City. Such a city lord not only has the name of city lord, but his family controls the city. He has great power in a city. He can call the wind and rain, and is omnipotent. The other one is like the current situation of Rainbow City. Rainbow City itself is controlled by 2 major families, the Loki family and the Mori family, and then the empire sends a city lord. Such a city lord is nominally the #1 person in Rainbow City, and is in charge of Rainbow City on behalf of the empire. Every family treats him respectfully and gives him enough face on various occasions, but secretly everyone knows that the real person who controls Rainbow City, it is the 2 major families, the Mori family and the Loki family, not him, the nominal city lord. If the city lord is ambitious, he will inevitably have a fierce battle with local forces like the Mori family, but Odlin of Tianhong City is very old and is a 6th-level low-level spiritual master. He is not like this. His ambition is to do his job well every day in front of his city lord. To put it nicely, this Odlin should be the most influential person in Rainbow City. To put it harshly, this Odlin is just a puppet. On the surface, he has the title of city lord, but in fact he does not have much power in Rainbow City. If Odlin really came from the powerful Guras family in later generations, it would be impossible for him to be such a small city lord in Rainbow City at such an old age. While Jason was thinking, Chief Kester and others had already moved towards the Lord of Odlin. Chief Kester, let's not talk too much. Since everyone is here, let's start the family competition. On the north side of the stone platform, on the side of the Loki family, Chief Birkby stood up suddenly and shouted loudly. Vocal channel. He did not greet the Lord of Odlin. If it were in the past, on other occasions, he would inevitably give some face to the false Lord of Odlin like Kester. But today, waiting to give the Mori family a hard time, Birkby, who stepped hard under his feet, couldn't wait. Kester's face looked a little ugly, and he snorted coldly, Birkby, since you are eager to seek death, then I will help you. Seeking death? Haha, I don't know who is seeking death. I said a few days ago, Kester, I will let you know who is the first family in Rainbow City. Birkby said with a sinister smile, but his face was filled with a confident smile, as if he was full of confidence in the competition between this family. Confidence. This Birkby is so confident, there is definitely something strange about him. From the side of the Mori family, Kester couldn't help but muse to himself. Normally, the apparent power of the two families should be evenly matched, but Birkby seems so confident that he is definitely hiding some unknown things, and these things in his heart should definitely be able to make him the one who won this family competition. I can't control that much anymore. Kester said to Locke on the side, Master Locke, please come on stage. Locke nodded, then stood up and walked towards the competition stage. This is Master Locke, a guest of the Mori family, a 5th-level intermediate elixir master. Someone in the crowd who knew Locke said immediately. Look who comes out of the Loki family. Master Marta of the Loki family should also be a 5th-level intermediate elixir master. At the level of elixir master, the Loki family and the Mori family should be indistinguishable. Negative. Everyone set their eyes in the direction of the Loki family. Beside the Birkby clan leader, Master Marta of the Loki family sat there quietly, but showed no intention of getting up. Guildmaster C, please. Birkby's voice suddenly sounded in the square and reached the ears of everyone present. Master Giles? Who is this? Does our Rainbow City have this Master Giles? Someone in the crowd suddenly made a sound of doubt. Kester and others from the Mori family felt something was wrong in their hearts. Leave it to the old man. I saw an old man in black robe suddenly standing up from the seat of the Loki family. There were a pair of cloudy old eyes in the deep eye sockets. He stared coldly at Locke on the stage, and then walked onto the stage. Who is this Giles? I haven't seen him before? Since the Loki family did not let Master Marta come forward, they instead asked Master Giles to come forward. This Master Giles' attainments in spiritual medicine are definitely higher than Master Marta's. There are smart people. Analyze below. In fact, there was no need for him to analyze it at all. Anyone who was not an idiot would understand such a simple truth. Where have you heard of this Giles? Kester frowned and felt a faint feeling of something bad in his heart. After Giles came on stage, he didn't even look at Locke, who was standing aside. He looked around with arrogant eyes, and then suddenly took out a badge of the Medicine Masters Guild from his body. Old Giles, a guest of the Loki family, a 5th-level senior master of elixirs. This is the badge of old age in the Empire's Elixir Guild. Giles raised the badge in his hand high, shining under the sunlight. Xinghui, those who were close in the square, and some good-looking spiritual masters could clearly see the rank mark on the Elixir Master badge in Giles' hand. Wow! There was an uproar in the square, and the expressions of Kester and others suddenly turned ashen. The 5th-level senior elixir master, Giles, is actually the 5th-level senior elixir master. Where did the Loki family find this guy? Impossible, impossible. With the strength of the Loki family, it is simply impossible. We have recruited a 5th-level senior elixir master. In Chi'er province, the 6th-level elixir masters are only owned by the File family, the 8th-level imperial spiritual master Eludiba, the head of the clan, and the 5th-level senior elixir master. Only those families who are 7th-level imperial spiritual masters have them. With the strength of the Loki family, it is impossible to recruit 5th-level high-level elixir masters. The Mori family originally thought that Locke, who had advanced to the 5th level of senior elixir master with the help of Jason, would definitely win the family competition. But now, the appearance of Giles has brought a new twist to the family competition. A hint of uncertainty. Haha, Kester, please go back obediently. Your family's Locke is the 5th-level intermediate elixir master. He cannot be compared with Master Giles. In terms of elixir masters, your Mori family has. What are you talking about? Birkby stood up abruptly, his face full of pride, and shouted loudly. Well, it seems that the Mori family has lost in this elixir master competition. I really didn't expect that the Loki family could recruit a 5th-level high-level elixir master. It's so unexpected. This time, Mori, the family, is in danger. The people below all started talking. Birkby, your Loki family has won the family competition this time. Don't forget your promise. From the side, an old man in a cloak spoke in a low voice. Don't worry, Elder Law said. As long as our Loki family wins the family competition, the place in this secret realm of the spirit pool will definitely be given to your Naton family. I, Birkby, will never break my promise. Birkby whispered. That's good. The old man nodded and said no more. Humph, Birkby, what are you proud of? Your Loki family hasn't won the family competition yet. Kester had a gloomy face and snorted coldly. Everyone. At this time, Locke, who was standing on the stage, spoke up. I'm Locke, a guest of the Mori family, a 5th-level senior elixir master. This is the elixir master level badge of the Empire's Elixir Masters Union. Locke also took out a badge from his body and held it high. What, did I hear it correctly? When did Master Locke of the Mori family become a 5th-level senior elixir master? He is really a 5th-level senior master of elixirs. Look at the stripes on the badge. The 3 silver stripes are exactly the same as those of Giles. Master Locke, Master Locke. Suddenly came out from the crowd. Waves of cheers. This Locke, it's impossible. On the north side of the stone platform, Birkby's face instantly turned extremely livid. On the stone platform, the voice of City Lord Odlin sounded over the square. The first competition is the Family Elixir Master Competition. The strongest elixir masters of the Loki family and the Mori family are both 5th-level advanced elixir masters. This time in the first game, the Loki family and the Mori family tied. Now, let's enter the second game, the competition of the strongest spiritual masters. As Lord Odlin's words fell, Giles looked at him coldly on the stone platform. Locke stood aside, with a trace of resentment in his eyes, and then walked towards the location of the Loki family. This time, the family asked him to help the Loki family. Originally, in Giles' mind, as long as he appeared, the Mori family would definitely lose. However, Locke's appearance made the result of the competition confusing. He was extremely unhappy. At this time, Locke also returned to the Mori family. Chief Kester, I disappoint you. From the Mori family side, Locke said with some shame. No, this is none of your business. If it weren't for you, our Mori family would have fallen behind in the first game. Kester said. Chief Kester, this is the second battle between the strongest spiritual masters. Elder Marconi and others asked aloud. For this second game, let me have a fight with that Birkby. I want to see how far Birkby's strength has improved after not fighting each other for several years. Kester, he spoke coldly. Everyone nodded, and now they can only place their hopes on winning the second competition between the Kester clan leader and Birkby. If he wins, he will win the family competition. If he loses, then, Loki family side. Elder Law said, Locke of the Mori family has actually been promoted to the 5th level of senior elixir master. Birkby gritted his teeth and said harshly. It doesn't matter, this is the second spiritual master competition. Let me appear on your behalf and capture the Kester directly to avoid any accidents and miss the order of Patriarch Cornhill. The old man covered in a cloak said indifferently. Then this battle will all depend on. Elder Law said. There was a hint of joy in Birkby's eyes, and he spoke respectfully. The Mori family is a bit interesting. A small family has actually cultivated a 5th-level high-level elixir master. If Kester is interested, it's okay to admit defeat. If you dare to fight me, I will kill Kester directly, and then let the family send people to bring Locke back to the family. In this way, the family will have 2 high-level elixir masters. The old man in the cloak whispered softly, and then stood up suddenly. Immediately, his body jumped and his feet slammed on the stone chair. Amidst the sound of explosion, the whole person jumped into the air, and then rushed straight down like a rocket, and his body volleyed. Turn over and land firmly on Shirtai Square. Wow! Seeing the hand exposed by the cloaked old man, there was an uproar in the audience. Old Man raised is the guest of the Loki family and a 6th-level senior spiritual master. He is the contestant of the Loki family in the second game. The Mori family, if you have any tricks, feel free to use them. I will take them all here. The old man's faint voice echoed over the square for a long time. The square, which had been extremely noisy before, suddenly fell silent. Then, there was a roar like a pot exploding. 6th-level Senior Master Wu, this old man is a 6th-level Senior Master. Senior Spiritual Master. Oh my god, when did the Loki family have so many strong reinforcements? A 6th-level Senior Spiritual Master and a 5th-level Senior Elixir Master. With such strength, they could have defeated the Mori family long ago. Is there any need to compete in this family competition? It's over. The Mori family is over. Although Master Locke has also been promoted to the 5th level of Senior Elixir Master, the other party's Spiritual Master is a 6th-level Senior Spiritual Master. The leader of the Kester family of the Mori family is a 6th-level Intermediate Spiritual Master. There is no way the Mori family can be their opponent. In the square below, all the people looked at the old man in black robe on the stage with surprise and suspicion, and their eyes of surprise and suspicion continued to pass over him. Bang! On the stone platform on the side of the Mori family, Kester's face turned extremely pale, and he stood up suddenly, his face full of fear. This impossible, how could the Loki family have a 6th-level Senior Spiritual Master? Where did this raised come from? How come I've never seen it before? Kester lost his composure and exclaimed. The faces of Marconi and other elders, as well as Master Locke and others, also became extremely ugly. The previous action of the old man rushing directly from the seat to the stone platform showed this. His status as a 6th-level Senior Spiritual Master alone is far beyond what Kester can match. Chief, what should we do now? Do we want to admit defeat? Marconi and others spoke with unwillingness in their eyes. Although Kester is a 6th-level Intermediate Spiritual Master, it is impossible to win if he really wants to fight with the opponent. In such a situation, the Mori family can only admit defeat. Admit defeat? No. Kester roared angrily, our Mori family must not admit defeat. Whether it is the quota in the secret realm of Ling Chi or the status in Rainbow City, our Mori family must not lose it. Otherwise, this everything is over. Although Kester already knew about Loken's condition and Jason was sure to treat him, Kester had promised Jason the quota for the secret realm of the spiritual pool. Moreover, even if it was not for the secret realm of the spiritual pool quota, the Mori family cannot admit defeat. On the surface, this family competition is about which family will take the initiative in Rainbow City in the next 10 years, but Kester knows that as long as his family loses in this competition, the family has already spent a lot of money on Loken's illness. The Mori family, which has almost all its financial resources, will become weaker and weaker under the pressure of the powerful Loki family, and will eventually be completely destroyed. Kester would never allow this to happen, even if it cost him his own life. He stood up with determination on his face, and then walked slowly towards the stone platform. Clan T. Marconi and the others cried out sadly. They knew the opponent's strength, but they still stepped forward. This clan leader was not going to compete at all, but to die. Kester's heart was as cold as iron, his eyes were full of determination, and there was no hesitation in his steps. Suddenly, a strong hand suddenly touched his shoulder from behind. This hand was so strong that it immediately pulled Kester, who was determined not to look back. Lord Jace. There was an exclamation from the crowd of the Mori family. Kester turned around in shock and saw Jason standing behind him with an indifferent expression. Lord Jace, what are you ? He said in a daze. Give this raise to me. I don't want to have just accepted a disciple and leave him without a father *, Jason said indifferently. But Kester couldn't help but say something. He also knew something about Jason's strength. Although he once seriously injured Cockburn, the elder of the Loki family who was a 6th-level low-level spiritual master, with a sword, but after Kester believes that Jason is at most a 6th-level senior spiritual master. Although Kester admits that Jason is stronger than himself, Jason is also a key figure in curing his son Loken's illness. If Jason had an accident on the competition stage and led to Loken's illness, if it cannot be cured, Kester will never forgive himself in this life. Nothing but, you are just going up there to die, so go back. Jason said faintly, but the power contained in those words gave Kester the courage to refuse. Master Loken walked up in a hurry, with worry on his face. Loku and everyone will always encounter obstacles on the way forward. All we have to do is to kick him away. Today, this raised is blocking the way forward for our teacher. You are optimistic. I will wait for you. How did you kill him? Jason said this and turned around and walked towards the competition stage. He replaced Kester on the stage to compete, not only because Kester was Loken's father, but also because of the spiritual power. He must get the spot in the Chi secret realm, and he must remove any obstacles that dare to stand in front of him. With everyone watching, Jason came to the competition stage with steady steps. Who is this kid? Why have I never seen him before? I don't know, it doesn't seem like he is from Rainbow City. Could it be that the Mori family invited him from outside? Look at the boy. He looks like he's only about 20 years old. The Mori family doesn't want this kid to fight Nalaseed, does it? Are you kidding me? As soon as Jason appeared, there were waves of whispers around the square. Everyone looked at Jason with surprised eyes. It was obvious that they were not sure what Jason came forward for. What? This boy, if he's not Loken's master, is he really going to fight for the Mori family against Narasid? Falut said in surprise on the side of the city lord's palace. On the Loki family side, many people are also surprised and confused, obviously not understanding Kester's intentions. Even if you want to admit defeat, there is no need to send a young man up. Then Kester can just admit defeat. Wait in Birkby. In people's hearts, with the help of Law said, the Loki family has no chance of losing in this family competition. Jess, guest of the Mori family, will take the place of the Mori family as a spiritual master. Competition. Asterisk on the competition stage, Jason stood still and spoke cheerfully to the surroundings. Wow. Jason's words were like dropping a depth bomb on the square. The entire crowd in the square exploded instantly. This kid is participating in the competition on behalf of the Mori family? Are you kidding me? What is this Mori family doing? Isn't this asking their young man to die? This Mori family is crazy, really crazy. Everyone was in disbelief, with astonishment on their faces. Haha, I'm laughing so hard, it's so funny. Asterisk, beside the Loki family, the patriarch of the Birkby family was laughing so hard that he was out of breath. Kester, you told me to say, what's wrong with you? Just admit defeat. If you don't accept it, go up on your own, and let a young man go up to die. Your Mori family only has this much courage, ha. From the Mori family's side, Kester, his face was livid, his hands were clenched, but he did not refute Birkby's words, and his eyes were so angry that he almost burst out of fire. He is ruthless about his own lack of strength. Boy, get off the stage obediently, I will spare your life. On the competition stage, the black-robed old man, Lasade, glanced at Jason coldly and said disdainfully. Oh? If you get out, I can spare your life. Jason breathed out softly, with a faint smile on his face, and suddenly pulled out the black heavy sword from behind with his right hand. This was the first time that he faced a 6th-level senior spiritual master alone. The opponent was 2 levels higher than him, but he was fearless in his heart. Boy, since you are looking for death, then die for me. The old man snorted coldly, and his figure suddenly moved. Then, a black bolt shot out from his hand like lightning, holding the wrapped in a powerful aura. It struck directly at Jason's head. The terrifying spiritual pressure instantly enveloped Jason's entire body, threatening to split him in half with a single blow. Facing the opponent's powerful 9-horse attack, Jason's eyes suddenly focused, and the spiritual god art in his body began to operate rapidly. The black heavy sword in his right hand blocked in front of him like lightning. Boom, the powerful energy swept around like an exploding air wave, and the strong spiritual power fluctuations reverberated throughout the competition stage, making everyone below feel shocked. 6th level senior spiritual master, it is indeed extraordinary, a casual strike can be so powerful. Everyone had a look of shock on their faces, and at the same time they were a little worried about Jason, who was at the center of the explosion. Does your excellency only have this little strength? The smoke dispersed, and an indifferent voice suddenly sounded on the competition stage. Jason stood there proudly with a sword, his face was calm, and there was no trace of any scars or discomfort on his body. Although Jason is only a 4th level senior, his physical strength has reached having reached the peak of the 7th level and practiced the spiritual god art, he naturally blocked the random attack from Lasaid. Lasaid's pupils could not help but shrink suddenly, with a little surprise in it, and then the corner of his mouth it cracked slightly, and Lu Mao's cold smile appeared on his face. Okay. Boy, I didn't expect you to have such a skill. If you just lay aside obediently and didn't move, I might not kill you, but now, I will let you know the consequences of offending me, raised. As he spoke, a black light suddenly emerged from his body. Laced suddenly jumped up, and a terrifying aura rose from the sword in his hand, and then turned into a huge black chain, condensed and formed in the sky. During the powerful spiritual power fluctuations, even the air was distorted, and the boiling spiritual power rose into the sky and filled half of the world. All the people in the square felt extremely uncomfortable and almost suffocated under this huge pressure. Die, Lasaid roared in midair, pointed the sword in his hand at Jason and struck him down hard. There was a violent whimpering sound in the air. Wherever the black chain went, the air was split into 2 white air waves. It's this time, on the competition stage, Jason's eyes suddenly lit up. Buzz. A golden spiritual ring suddenly floated out from the top of his head. At the same time, the slowly rotating golden ball above Jason's spiritual seat suddenly sped up, and a pale golden, almost transparent golden ball appeared. The spiritual power suddenly radiated from the surface of Jason's body, forming a spherical space with a radius of about 10 meters up, down, left, and right around Jason's body, wrapping up Lasaid in the sky. In all the spiritual elements in this sphere disappeared in an instant as if they had been evacuated. The 4th level spiritual ring, gold elemental enchantment. In the elemental enchantment, all elemental attacks will be restricted. The black chain that fell from the sky suddenly shrank in half. You, brat, what is this? In midair, Lasaid felt that he had instantly lost contact with the spiritual elements in the air. No matter how he adjusted it, he could not sense it at all. There was a hint of disbelief on his face, and he let out an angry roar. However, the black horse that he chopped down in his hand did not disappear. It hit the hard ground of the competition platform heavily. Trick step. Jason's figure on the ground blurred for an instant. Poison. Amidst the huge roar, traces of cracks suddenly appeared on the ground of the competition platform. Countless smoke and dust filled the air, and cracks spread into the distance, and the rock formations collapsed. Whoosh! Escaped Jason, who had been attacked by the opponent, jumped up like lightning, and powerful spiritual energy fluctuations suddenly burst out from his body, aiming hard at Lasaid. Buzz. At the same time, a strange mental fluctuation swept out of Jason's eyes like lightning, forming a void sword wave. In an instant, he came to Lasaid. Underneath, the black heavy sword in Jason's hand released thick waves of fire spiritual power, waiting for the opponent to lose consciousness due to the shock of his soul, and then gave the opponent a fatal blow. The whole process sounds long, but it takes place in a blink of an eye. Jason took advantage of the moment when the opponent attacked, first used elemental enchantment to weaken the opponent's attack, in exchange for a little dodge time to dodge the opponent's attack, and then used soul shock to make the opponent lose resistance, and finally took action. The whole process was one step at a time. One ring, extremely tight, reflects Jason's careful mind. However, just when the mental fluctuations released by Jason came to the other party, a transparent circular shield suddenly appeared in front of the other party. Bang! The invisible waves, transformed from soul shock, collapsed and dissipated instantly after concentrating on the transparent shield. Lassade, who was previously extremely surprised by the elemental barrier released by Jason, now had a face on his face. But suddenly a scheming smile flashed across his face. No. Jason's expression suddenly changed. Haha, kid, I knew you had such a move. I've been waiting for you for a long time. In midair, Laced laughed out loud. As he flipped his right hand, the black leather chain that had been dodged by Jason turned around. Carrying surging spiritual power fluctuations, it suddenly attacked Jason in midair. At this moment, Jason was leaping high in midair, unable to dodge at all. Master, Lord Jace. On the side of the Mori family, Loken, Kester and others saw this scene, and everyone stood up suddenly with horrified looks on their faces. Haha, this kid thinks we don't know his background, but he doesn't know that we are actually prepared. On the Loki family side, Patriarch Birkby couldn't help laughing. In fact, the Loki family learned from Cockburn 3 days ago that there was a member of the Mori family with a strange power. Psychologically attacked boy. Therefore, the Loki family has long prepared a spiritual immunity weapon to deal with Jason. The first time Jason appeared, Birkby and the others recognized Jason, but they pretended not to know him in order to paralyze Jason. Now, it finally works. In the sky, Jason and Raised were flying in the middle of the sky. They could not fly at all as they had not reached the level of 7th level Imperial spiritual masters. They could only have a head-on collision. They believed that under the well-prepared attack of Lassade, the young man could only wait for death at this moment. However, the strange thing is that in midair, Jason, who felt that the soul shock had failed, had no look of surprise on his face. A huge amount of spiritual power was instantly instilled into the gravity pendant on his left wrist. Buzz *, gravity space, an invisible ripple came out, and the gravity within a few meters around Jason's body was suddenly increased to 100 times gravity. Is this? What's going on? With the strength of Laced's 6th level senior spiritual master, although he cannot fly, he can stay in the air for a short time. However, now, Laced discovered that his body was falling at an extremely fast speed, and no matter how much spiritual power he poured out, he could not slow down his fall. A fatal blow. Jason's right arm became extremely thick in an instant. As his spiritual power trembled, the black heavy sword in Jason's hand collided heavily with the black hammer in Lasade's hand. Rumble *, continuous explosions sounded one after another in the air. 2 huge spiritual powers, one red and one black, collided in the sky. The dissipated spiritual elements seemed to cover the entire sky, and the air trembling, spiritual power overflowed, forming a huge storm that made it impossible to identify the figure. Bang! Raised fell heavily from the sky. 2 deep footprints suddenly appeared on the hard competition platform, and stone powder flew up. Cracks spread like spider silk. A slight flush appeared on Lassade's face, and then he couldn't help but burst out laughing. Haha, brat, I thought you were so strong. It turns out that he is only a 4th level heavenly spirit master, but he only relied on some strange spiritual skills. Humph, you dare to compete with me. Doe died without knowing how. After the previous battle, although the intensity of the attack released by Jason was comparable to that of a 6th level spiritual master, Lassade could also feel that the essence of his spiritual power was only that of a 4th level spiritual master. At most, there are no sect spiritual masters who have exceeded the 5th level. They have only reached this level of strength through certain spiritual skills or special enhancements. But it is also at the age of about 20 years old, this young man can reach the 4th level. The spiritual master is already a genius, and there is no way he can be stronger. At this moment, Lassade was completely relieved. He raised his head and looked at the sky, but his brows couldn't help but frown. What's going on? Why hasn't that boy fallen yet? Lased's heart was full of doubts. Wow. At this moment, Laced heard a burst of uproar from the audience. At the same time, a powerful wave of spiritual power suddenly rose behind him. Feng Yen, triple wave **. Jason's cold voice sounded coldly in Lased's ears like the wind from the nine nether hell. Raised turned around suddenly, and in his horrified eyes, he only saw a burning flame bird suddenly falling from the sky. Guardian of spiritual armor, obsidian, destroys the world. Lased's eyes suddenly widened. He roared, and black light burst out from the surface of his body. The sword in his hand rushed forward at high speed. Boom! Exclamation point, one red and one black, two weapons containing terrifying energy, finally came into contact with each other at the next moment. At this moment, the two people who were rioting like thunder stopped almost at the same time. In this stillness, an invisible energy shock wave spread in all directions instantly. Countless rocks cracked from the ground and scattered in all directions, with a huge noise. Everyone around the training ground fell silent at this moment, staring intently at each other. The two people in the scene who couldn't stop their noses were solemnly celebrating Lao Lai Ao is also romantic. The deputy moderator gave a red reward and was awarded the title of the leader of this book. The leader is comparable to the 8th level in the book. The god of medicine, the Emperor Spirit Master, is the founder of a sect and has a great reputation. Lao Laiyan and Feng Lu brothers were placed in the northern kingdoms and the territory of chaos. He was definitely a character who could kill all the way to the bottom. Gods would kill gods, and Buddhas would kill Buddhas. Even in the Salem Empire and the Cairo Empire, he is still a famous figure. What a pity, and congratulations. Grand congratulations, hee hee. On the competition platform, Jason was holding a sword on the ground with one hand. His face was extremely pale. A trace of blood was slowly dripping from the corner of his mouth, which was particularly clear on the pale face. Ahem! Suddenly, Jason coughed violently, and 2 mouthfuls of dark red blood coughed out from his mouth and splashed on the white rock ground, which was shocking. No matter how you say it, Raised is still a 6th-level senior spiritual master. Although Jason is strong now, he is still a 4th-level senior spiritual master. Under the opponent's vigorous attack, many meridians in his body were damaged. It was damaged and severely injured. On the other side, Raised stood there quietly. The rocks under his feet had cracked under the previous bombardment, but there was not much fear in his expression. Haha, brat, you dare to fight with me. Although your previous spiritual skills are not weak, but you are still a little bit behind in trying to hurt me. Lassade laughed ferociously, then faced Jason. Walking slowly. Judging from your strength, I think you are not an ordinary person. It's a pity that a genius like you will die in my hands today, haha, ha ha ha. Lassade's face was filled with a proud light. Master Lord Jace on the Mori family side, the faces of Kester and others were extremely pale, and Loken almost cried. Sure enough, the young man was defeated. Someone among the surrounding people said softly. This unexpected ending made them all let out a long breath. From the beginning of the competition, no one among them saw Jason, a young man who was not that big. You must know that the person opposite him was not a cat or a dog, but a 6th-level senior spiritual master. A person like this is considered a powerful being in the entire Chi'er province. If this young man dares to go up, isn't he looking for death? Boom! But before their sighs could end, a huge explosion suddenly came from Lassade. Lassade was shocked, and the ground beneath his feet shook violently, and all the rocks exploded instantly. Come on. Laced, who originally had a smile on his face, suddenly showed a look of astonishment on his face. Ahem! In everyone's surprise, Lassade, who had walked towards Jason crazily before, turned red, opened his mouth, and coughed up 2 mouthfuls of blood. This sudden situation in Lassade shocked everyone present. They were all stunned. They didn't understand what had happened to Lassade. In front of Lasaid, Jason coughed twice, then slowly stood up, holding a heavy sword and walked towards the seats of the Mori family. You kid, do you want to give up? The competition is not over yet. If you want to escape, there is no way. Laced roared violently in his mouth, and he, who was seriously injured, thought Jason thought he was no match for him. So I wanted to run away. You're dead. Jason's indifferent voice came. What? Raised couldn't help being startled. In the confused eyes of all the audience, boom and explosion that was several times louder than before came from Lasaid again. Lasaid's whole body was violent. The ground shook, and countless wounds were instantly opened on the surface of his body. Countless blood arrows splashed out from all over his body like fountains. This Laced lowered his head suddenly, and a daze flashed in his eyes. Immediately, his pupils suddenly shrank to the size of a needle tip, and his face was filled with horror, making it look particularly ugly and terrifying. No, impossible, there was a look of horror on his face, and a strong look of disbelief in his eyes. Blood splashed out from his mouth desperately, and continued to fall on the ground in front of him. Lasse. Germany would actually be defeated by a young man like you. No, I am not willing to. Laced muttered to himself. In his perception, all the meridians and internal organs in his body were shattered in the previous explosion. The trace of fire power that remained in his body cut off all his vitality. The luster in Lasaid's proud eyes dissipated, and he gradually lost his look, looking gloomy. Bang! His body fell heavily on the competition platform, his eyes fixed on the direction Jason was leaving. Until his death, he did not understand that he, a 6th-level senior spiritual master, was a strong man would actually die in the hands of such a young man. Jason's eyes were full of indifference. Fengyan Triple Wave is his strongest attack skill now. There are 3 levels in total, each level is stronger than the last level. With his current the strength of the 3rd level, the strongest, has almost reached the peak of the attack that a 6th-level spiritual master can unleash. Compared with the attack of a lower-level 7th-level Emperor spiritual master, it is only a little bit behind. What's more, when Jason released the 3rd wave of Fengyan earlier, he also instilled a trace of the original power brought to him by the spiritual heart of the holy beast Immortal Fire Phoenix. It would be strange if Nihilist was not dead yet. From the moment he was hit by Jason Fengyan's triple wave, he was already a dead man. It's too scary, too scary. What kind of spiritual skills did this young man use? It's so powerful. Down below, bursts of roaring sound suddenly erupted in the originally silent square. Everyone's face was full of horrified expressions. I don't know why. Being able to kill the 6th-level senior spiritual master Lasaid, doesn't it mean that this young man's strength is already above that of Lasaid? Everyone looked at Jason with frightened eyes. At such an age, he has such strength. Where did the Mori family invite this mysterious young man from? At this moment, they were all thinking. Full of shock. Master Loken, from the Mori family, rushed forward with excitement on his face flushed with excitement. During the mid-air confrontation between Jason and Lasaid, Loken was worried about Jason. However, Jason mysteriously appeared behind Lasaid. In fact, at that moment, in the smoke of spiritual power, Jason quietly used the lightning wings, and was able to appear quietly behind Lasaid. Flying skills are Jason's trump card when encountering danger, and he also I don't want to be exposed in front of everyone. Lord Jace, Chief Kester, Master Locke and others also walked up with excitement at this moment. Their eyes could not hide the light of excitement, full of love for Jason. Gratitude. Jason defeated Lasaid, which showed that the Mori family defeated the Loki family in this family competition. This made Kester and others who were originally despairing of Lasaid's appearance, all felt the joy of rebirth after a disaster. Dead? Elder Lasaid died like this? On the Loki family side, Chief Birkby and Master Nagels stood there blankly, with difficulty in their eyes. Belief and fear. Before the battle between Jason and Narasid they had thought of countless possibilities, But the only thing they did not expect was that Elder Laced would actually be killed by the young man. This made them difficult to accept for a while. Whoosh! Giles and Birkby quickly came to the competition stage and saw Lacid's body lying there without a sound. There was inexplicable horror on their faces. On the stone platform, the voice of the Lord of Aldrin sounded over the entire square. The second game, the Family Spiritual Master Competition. Jace of the Mori family defeated Raised of the Loki family and won this game. Victory, 2 combined. The winner of this Rainbow City family competition is the Mori family. As Lord Odlin announced his announcement, there were bursts of cheers from the Mori family, and the faces of all Mori family members were filled with the joy of victory. Loki family, go back obediently. Our Mori family is the #1 family in Hong City today. On the stone platform, someone from the Mori family shouted. Ha ha, ha ha ha. This man's shout immediately caused the members of the Mori family to laugh. Kester, you actually killed Elder Lacede. The death of your Mori family is coming soon. Chief Cornhill will never let you Mori family go. Just cheer, cheer as much as you want. Celebrate their short lives on the competition stand. Birkby's cold voice suddenly sounded. Come, full of fear and resentment. Cornhill, chief of the Cornhill clan? Lacede? Giles, Kester murmured in his mouth. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, and his expression suddenly changed. Suddenly, there was inexplicable fear in his eyes. The Naton family, Nericide is the elder of the Naton family, and Giles is the elixir of the Naton family. No wonder I thought Giles's name was so familiar before. No wonder he is from the Naton family. How come the people from the Loki family are together with the people from the Naton family? Oh my god, Kester's eyes suddenly widened, and there was a trace of unconcealable horror in his eyes. The Naton family, what is Raised? The elder of Naton? Oh my gosh. Besides, Master Locke, Marconi and others also showed extremely frightened looks on their faces after hearing the name of the Naton family. And the people below, after hearing the name of Cornhill, also, there was a buzz of discussion. Who is this Cornhill? Which is the Naton family? But Jason was not familiar with this name, he said in confusion. Lord Jace Chief Kester had an inexplicable fear on his face, which completely suppressed the previous joy of the Mori family's victory in the family competition. He trembled and said, this Naton family is the ruling family of Tianluo City in Chi'er province. This Tianluo City is different from our Tianluo City. The entire city of Tianluo City is completely controlled by the Naton family, and the Naton family, the Patriarch Cornhill, is one of the only 7th-level low-level imperial spiritual masters in Chi'er province. With such strength, we can't offend him at all, a 7th-level low-level imperial spiritual master? Hearing this, Jason's face also showed a rare hint of solemnity. Although the current Jason can kill a 6th-level senior spiritual master like Lazard, facing a 7th-level imperial spiritual master with Jason's current strength is still quite dangerous. Unless he can advance to the 5th level, Jason may still have a chance of winning. But despite this, Jason only felt a little wary of Cornhill at the moment, but he didn't have the slightest fear. If a spiritual master does not have the courage to face powerful enemies without fear, then he cannot become a truly strong man. Father, Nericid himself stood up for the Loki family, and now he died on the competition stage. How can the Nanaton family blame us? Moreover, as the ruling family of Rainbow City, our Mori family can't accept it. As the ruling family of Tianluo City, what right does the Dun family have to control our Mori family? Seeing the frightened expressions of everyone on the sidelines, Luo-kun couldn't help but scream angrily. That's right. We don't need to be afraid of the Nanaton family at all. How can they still come to Rainbow City to suppress our Mori family? Someone in the crowd spoke up again. The Salem Empire is not a chaotic area like the Territory of Chaos. If the two forces don't like it, they will take action without hesitation. Here, although there are struggles among the major forces, at most they are just using some secret methods. If there is a large-scale fight that causes the death of a large number of ordinary people or causes chaos in the empire, it may not be possible. How long will it take before that family will be completely suppressed by the empire's troops? In this 3/4 acre of land in Rainbow City, although the Natan family is powerful, they cannot control the Mori family. What's more, this family competition is also for the competition for the secret realm of Lingqi. Not only Tianhong City, but also many cities in Chi'er province are holding competitions for the few places in the secret realm of Lingqi. Let's go back. It's true. Although the Natan family is strong, they can't control our Mori family. Kester finally showed the courage of his clan leader at this moment, and he recovered in a moment. He spoke calmly and indifferently. With the announcement of City Lord Odlin, the big competition between the two major families in Rainbow City finally came to an end, but neither the Loki family nor the winning Mori family showed much joy on their faces. Color. The Loki family lost the victory in this competition. What awaits them will be a shabby life and pressure from the Mori family. As for the Mori family, Chief Kester and others, they really couldn't feel happy. Who would feel extremely happy after killing an elder from a family with a 7th-level Imperial Spiritual Master? After a brief chat with Lord Odlin and others, Kester and others returned to the family. As for Jason, he went back immediately after the results of the competition came out. In the Mori family mansion, Jason was quietly sitting cross-legged, constantly circulating the spiritual power in his body and repairing the broken meridians in his body. Under the operation of the spiritual god Ard, the 4th-order high-level spiritual power continuously nourished the damaged meridians in his body. Wherever it went, traces of spiritual power penetrated into the meridians and continuously nourished and healed the wounds. With Jason's current recovery ability, in these short 2 hours, the body that was previously seriously injured was almost repaired. However, after today's battle, Jason understood own weaknesses. Although Jason's body is extremely strong and he possesses several extremely powerful spiritual skills, his own level has always limited his strength. When facing a 6th-level spiritual master like Raised, if he relies on fortunately, Soul Shock restrained the opponent first. If he hadn't restrained him, the opponent's powerful 6th-level spiritual power could have easily injured his body. Unless his physical strength can reach the terrifying 9th-level holy level, no matter how strong his physical strength is, he will not be able to withstand the attack of a spiritual master who is 2 or more levels higher than him. Just like Wayne back then, after losing his spiritual power, he still had the physical strength of an 8th-level senior imperial spiritual master. However, during the assassination attempt on Jason, he was killed by the sword energy of a 5th-level sect spiritual master. He was seriously injured. The level is still too low. Jason couldn't help but murmured in the room. He is a 4th-level senior heavenly spiritual master. Although he has so much powerful spiritual power, it can only make Jason a master, not a true strongman. I must get the blood abyss essence. Jason's eyes showed an extremely firm look. When he thought about the power that his self-created trick could produce, his heart couldn't help but beat wildly. Master. At this moment, Loken's voice suddenly came from outside the door. Come in. Jason said indifferently. With a creak, Jason's door was pushed open, and Luo Qi walked in with 2 bottles of elixir in his hand. Master, are your injuries okay? This is the 5th-level healing potion, prepared by Master Locke. You should take it quickly. In 5 days, it will be the time for the secret realm of Lingqi to open. We need to set off to the Lingqi mountains in advance to unify it by then. Enter the secret realm of the spirit pool. Loken said. The secret realm of Lingqi in Chi'er province is managed by the Phil family of Chi'er province. Every 10 years, when the secret realm opens, each city in Chi'er province will receive a fixed quota. Like this Tianhong city, there are for a quota to enter the secret realm of Lingqi. It would be okay if there is only one most powerful family in power in a city. That quota will naturally be taken by that family. However, if there is more than one family in power like Tianhong City, you need to pass a family competition determines the holder of the quota. In fact, Rainbow City is pretty good. After all, there are only two families, the Mori family and the Loki family. There are some cities and several families with relatively even strength. The competition for the places will be extremely fierce. Looking at the 5th level healing potion in Loken's hand, Jason couldn't help but smile. Do you think I am someone who is short of healing potions? It is better for you to get these 2 bottles of healing potions yourself. The injuries on my body are almost healed, and it will not delay the journey to enter the secret realm of the spiritual pool, Jason laughed. But this elixir is Luoquan wanted to say something else. Nothing, this is an order. Jason said calmly. Luoquan stopped insisting and put away the 2 bottles of 5th level healing potions in his hand. He also knew that his master, who could easily take out 6th level high-grade spiritual potions, would naturally not be short of these 5th level healing potions. At this moment, in front of the Loki family mansion, a carriage was parked at the door, and a burly groom, holding a long whip in his hand, was waiting quietly for something. Chief Birkby, Giles and others walked out of the mansion with gloomy faces and serious expressions. Master Giles. Patriarch Birkby begged Giles with a pleading look on his face, please say a few kind words in front of Lord Cornhill. It is true that the Morley family is too cunning. Thinking that the young man is so strong, the villain didn't check for a moment. A few kind words? Giles couldn't help but sneered, Chief Birkby, now that the 2nd elder, Laced, is dead, you still want me to say a few nice words in front of the Patriarch? I will truthfully report the situation here to the Patriarch. As for your decision, that is your business. You'd better ask for your own blessings. After Giles finished speaking, he got on a strong horse next to the carriage, then ignored Birkby and others behind him and rode towards the north gate of Rainbow City. This time Giles and Lassaid came to Rainbow City together. The city helped the Loki family in order to obtain a quota in the secret realm of the Spirit Pond. Now not only has the quota not been obtained, but even Elder Lassaid has died in Rainbow City. Although Giles, as a spiritual medicine master, is in the Dunn family has a very high status, but if something like this happens, it is inevitable that they will be scolded by the Cornhill clan leader when they go back, and they will naturally be in a very bad mood. When Giles drove away, the car parked at the door earlier, the carriage also started driving under the whip of the coachman. It followed Giles. The carriage contained the body of Laced. Looking at Giles retreating back, Birkby couldn't help but show an irritated look on his face. This Naton family obviously came to our Loki family because they wanted a spot in the secret realm of the spirit pool. Now Lassaid died, and he actually put all the blame on our Loki family. Damn, Birkby spat hard, but his face was full of helplessness. Chief, what should we do next? Besides, a member of the Loki family made an inappropriate voice. What should I do? What can be done? Birkby glared at the other party fiercely. Just stay in the mansion and wait for the news. I hope Lord Cornhill will not blame our Loki family. After saying this, Birkby turned around angrily and walked into the mansion. The members of the Loki family behind him were all silent. They followed Birkby into the mansion. Early the next morning, the door of the Mori family's mansion was opened. Kester and other powerful figures in the Mori family were all standing at the door. Lord Jace, you killed Elder Lassaid of the Naton family. If you go to the secret realm of the spirit pool this time, the Naton family will never let you go. You should think again, Chief. Kester tried to dissuade him. Jason shook his head. I have to go to the secret realm of the spirit pool this time. As for the Nanaton family, you don't have to worry about it. Jason's eyes were extremely determined, and he had a reason to go. Master on the side, Luo Kuan said with tears. Lokuan, you can practice well at home and wait. When I come back from the secret realm of Lingqi, I want to check your progress. Master, don't worry, Loken will not embarrass you. There was a trace of determination in Luoquan's eyes. In that case, everyone, there is no need to send him off, let's take our leave. Jason waved to the people on the steps, then got on his horse and galloped towards the north gate of Rainbow City. This time to the Lingqi Mountains, although Luo Kuan and others wanted to accompany them, they were all blocked. Jason refused. These people followed him on the road. Not only could they not help him, but they would bring him trouble. Therefore, Jason just took the token of the Mori family and set off alone. Ling, the secret realm of the pool? Let me see how mysterious the birthplace of the blood abyss essence is. On the horse, Jason was high-spirited and his eyes were extremely sharp. Tianluo City, the third largest city in Chi'er Province, is located at the geographical artery in the central part of Chi'er Province. It is an extremely important city in Chi'er Province. As the ruling family of Tianluo City, the Natan family's residence is located in Tianluo City. The center of the city covers a huge area and is much more luxurious than the city lord's mansion in Tianluo City. In Tianluo City, the position of city lord is completely a decoration. The real people in power are the Natan family, which controls nearly 80% of Tianluo City's economy and power. The patriarch of the Natan family, Cornhill, is one of the few 7th-level imperial spiritual masters in Chi'er Province. Although he is only a 7th-level low-level imperial spiritual master, his strength can be seen in the entire Chi'er Province. Rank in the top few. At this moment, the Natan family mansion. Bang! An old man with an angry face slammed his palm on the ironwood table nearby. With a huge sound, the hard ironwood table instantly turned into debris all over the floor. Bastard, this Mori family dares to kill a member of my Natan family. This is so lawless. They don't take me, Cornhill, seriously, the old man roared, his eyes filled with anger, and his body was full of anger. The robe moved automatically without any wind, exuding a terrifying power. This old man is none other than Cornhill, the patriarch of the Natan family. Below the hall, several elders and core members of the Natan family stood aside in silence. Giles, the 5th-level senior elixir master who was helping the Loki family compete with the Mori family in Rainbow City not long ago, was among them, and on the floor of the hall, Lyst's miserable body lay. Too arrogant, too arrogant. The Mori family dares to kill the elders of our Natan family. It is simply lawless and lawless. These elders and core members all had angry looks on their faces. Giles, what is going on? Didn't I ask you to help the Loki family obtain the quota for Rainbow City to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool? The strongest member of the Mori family is only a 6th-level intermediate. He's just a spiritual master. There's no way he can be Lysette's opponent. What happened? Cornhill said gloomily, his cold eyes staring at Giles below. Goodoo. Giles swallowed hard. Spit, then walked out and said in a trembling voice, Chief Cornhill, this is what happened at that moment. Giles told everything that happened in the Tianhong City family competition. As Gillis is a 5th-level senior elixir master, in other families, even if Cornhill is a 7th-level imperial spiritual master, they usually have to be extremely respectful to the 5th-level senior elixir master. But this Cornhill has an extremely bad temper and a vicious personality. He will retaliate for every little thing and is extremely selfish. He has absolute authority in the Natan family. Giles also lives under his breath and dare not do anything. Defy. What, Lassade was killed by a teenager? And it was in a one-on-one battle. Giles, are you kidding me? After hearing Giles' story, the elders and core members of the Natan family present at the scene, they all spoke with shock on their faces. After seeing Lyst's miserable appearance, they all thought that the Mori family had hired some extremely powerful master. However, Giles' words shocked them all. As the second elder of the Natan family, even in the entire Natan family, except for the head of the Cornhill clan, no one else dared to say that he could definitely kill him. But now he died at the hands of a young man. What kind of monster is that young man? This is not to say that there are no geniuses in the Salem Empire. As one of the four major empires in the mainland, the Salem Empire has the top leaders of the younger generation. Some of them in their 20s have even reached the 7th level of Emperor Spiritual Master realm. But these outstanding figures are all geniuses cultivated from a young age by the imperial royal family or the top families and forces, using countless genius treasures and elixirs. For example, in Chi'er province, the most talented young man is only young Master Kiros of the Phil family. At only 25 years old, he has now reached the realm of a 6th-level low-level spiritual master, which can be said to defy the heavens. But he was also trained by Master Eludiba from an early age, and he took countless magical potions to achieve what he is today. Therefore, no wonder everyone was so surprised when they first heard the news that Losaid was killed by a young man. Humph. At the main seat at the front of the hall, Cornhill's eyes changed a few times, but a sinister light appeared on his face, looking extremely ferocious. I don't care what the origin of this young man is, since if you dare to offend my Natan family, you must be prepared to die. Well, since Tianhong City's secret realm of spiritual pool has not been obtained, then the family only has one spot in Tianluo City. Now that the secret realm of spiritual pool is about to open, it's too late for the family to get a quota again. In that case, this time, it's up to me to go to the secret realm of Lingqi. Cornhill said. This everyone below looked at each other, a little angry in their hearts, but they didn't say anything. When entering the secret realm of the spirit pool, almost everyone wants to enter the blood abyss spirit pool to change their physique and train their body. Of course, there are also some people who want to practice in that special environment, hoping to gain insights. However, this blood abyss spirit pool is generally very effective on young people. The younger the person is, the better the effect of tempering the body will be, and the more beneficial it will be to future cultivation. However, for an old person like Cornhill said, although it is effective, it is not that powerful. In addition, the Lingqi secret realm is only opened once every 10 years, so most families will send the best of the younger generation of the family into the secret realm in order to create hope for the family's future. Young people who have been able to soak in the blood abyss spiritual pond will definitely have better cultivation speed and future achievements than ordinary people. But the Cornhill Patriarch is extremely selfish. In the 30 years since he became the Patriarch, this is the third time he has entered the secret realm of the spiritual pool. But 20 years ago, when he had just become the clan leader, he had already entered the secret realm of the spirit pool. Now, once again, the place was reserved for himself instead of the younger generation in the family. This made the elders below, they were quite unhappy. It's just that as a 7th-level low-level imperial spiritual master, Cornhill has absolute authority in the Natan family. Even if everyone is dissatisfied, they dare not express the slightest bit. As for the Mori family, Cornhill sneered, this time the Mori family wants a place in the secret realm of the spirit pool. It is said that it is for their family's boy named Loken. As long as the Mori family dare to send someone into the secret realm of the spirit pool, no matter who it is, I, Cornhill, will definitely kill the people of the Mori family. It is best for Kester to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool in person. Maybe he can't get it in Tianhong City. What about the Mori family? After entering the secret realm of the spirit pool, their life and death are not up to them, ha ha, ha ha ha. Cornhill laughed loudly, his expression looking extremely ferocious. The Lingqi Mountains are located in the north of Chi'er province. This is a stretch of mountains. It is also the largest mountain group in Chi'er province. The entrance to the Lingqi secret realm is located at the foot of a peak in the Lingqi Mountains. Although the Lingqi mountain range is huge and has a lot of spirit beasts, most of the area is filled with low-level spirit beasts. Even in the deepest parts, high-level spirit beasts are rare, so it attracts a lot of people. It is favored by adventurers in Chi'er province. Jason rode his horse all the way, and finally arrived at a small town on the edge of the Lingqi Mountains on the 3rd day. The next journey was to enter the mountains. The horses could not enter at all, so Jason had to. The horses were stored in a hotel in the town. Although the opening of the secret realm of the spirit pool that occurs once every 10 years is considered a very grand event in Chi'er province, because the people who can enter it are the top families in each city, and each family can basically only send one person. The audience is extremely small, and ordinary people don't know it at all, so some towns near the Lingqi Mountains appear to be extremely peaceful. After resting one night in a small town on the edge of the mountains, Jason entered the mountains early the next morning. Now that it was less than 2 days before the opening of the secret realm of Lingqi, Jason didn't want to cause trouble because of his late arrival. Cannot enter. After a day's trek and climbing over 2 mountains, Jason finally arrived at the foot of Lingqi Peak where the secret realm of Lingqi was opened in the evening. This is a pure black dangerous peak. From a distance it looks like a sleeping beast, giving people a chilling and suffocating feeling. The entrance to the secret realm of Lingqi is at the foot of this mountain. Different from the usual situation in the towns on the edge of Lingqi mountain range, the bustle at the foot of Lingqi Peak was far beyond Jason's expectation. Huge tents were pitched at the foot of the mountain, and bursts of cheerful laughter could be heard from time to time. At the same time, a group of guards wearing armor with shining eyes stood coldly at a mountain colonel. "Who is it? Tell me your name." As soon as Jason walked out of the forest, a team of guards came over and looked at Jason and said coldly. Jason's brows couldn't help but frown. This place has been designated as a forbidden area by the Phil family. If you are an adventurer, please leave quickly. The guard captain continued. I am Jace from the Mori family, and I am here to participate in the opening of the secret realm of the spirit pool. Jason said calmly. Please, Your Excellency, bring out the tokens of the Mori family. Hearing Jason's restraint, the guard captain glanced at Jason in surprise, and his originally stern face suddenly softened a lot. After checking Jason's token, the guard captain nodded. The secret realm of Lingqi will not be opened until tomorrow. You can stay in the tent here tonight. Under the leadership of a guard, Jason was led arriving at an empty tent. Hey, brother, you came to the secret realm of Lingqi alone? You are very brave. Not far away, a young man ran over and shouted enthusiastically to Jason. I didn't expect it. Here comes another master. The young man came to Jason. With a smile on his face, my name is Tanzan, from the Mike family. How about you, brother? Tanzan was very enthusiastic. Jason glanced at him curiously and replied, Mo, the Mori family. The Mori family? The one from Rainbow City? If there are masters like brothers, then the Mori family is definitely a great family. Tanzanian chuckled. Most of the younger generation who come here are very powerful. Normally, you will only die if you go in. Tanzan pointed at some young people gathered not far away and said. If you don't have the strength, you still dare to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool. It would be better if you just stay outside and practice. If you want to enter the Blood Abyss spirit pool and go deep into the secret realm, you are courting death. Tanzan curled his lips and said, but brother Jess, you can tell he is a master just by looking at him. Oh? Jason smiled with interest and said, can you tell the master from his appearance? Then Zizuku, Tanzan said with a smile, look at these guys, most of them are from families in Chi'er province, which is not far from the Lingqi mountains. When they come, they still need so many families. He was escorted by strong men, TSK, such people have always been pampered, even if they are of high rank, they may not have real power. Tanzan shook his head and said, Brother Jiez, you are different. You crossed the mountains and came to Lingqi's alone. This at least shows that Brother Jiez dares to venture alone and face danger. In this aspect alone, it is far beyond what such a playboy can compare with. Jason couldn't help but laugh. What Tanzanian said may not be completely correct, but it is not unreasonable. Just when Tanzan was still about to talk, another group of people came out of the mountain forest not far away. There were also 2 sedan chairs. Haha, this kid thought he was here for an outing? He actually came here in a sedan. Tanzong laughed out loud, and then looked towards the opposite side and was shocked for a moment. He originally thought that a young master from some family was coming in a sedan, but he didn't expect that it was two old men who got off the sedan. Na Kosi Hill of the Dunn family turns out to be this old guy. Isn't it possible that he wants to enter the secret realm of the spiritual pool again this time? Tanzan had a look of surprise on his face. The Naton family, Kos Hill? Jason couldn't help but was startled, and then turned around to look. He saw two old men getting off the sedan. The first one had a ruddy face and a sharp look in his eyes. The second one was exactly what Jason had seen in Rainbow City. Giles passed by. At this moment, Jason was in the open space outside the tent, and after Giles got off the sedan, he also looked up, but for a moment, the two looked at each other. No. Jason's expression suddenly changed. Clan leader, this guy is the one who killed Elder Laws High Sway. Giles shouted immediately. Kosi Hill immediately turned his head, and his sharp eyes fell directly on Jason. Then a smile appeared on his face. Jason could feel it from the other person's eyes. A strong killing intent. I won't get involved with this guy for the time being. If he insists on causing trouble, I have no choice but to fight. Jason had no choice at the moment. Although he was not afraid in his heart, he didn't want to be unable to do it because of this. If you enter the secret realm of the spirit pool and find the blood abyss spirit, there will be no conflict. It is better not to conflict for the time being. Is this the kid? Koshir said indifferently to Giles. He is the patriarch. Even if he turns to ashes, I can still defeat him. Giles was extremely sure that Jason's performance in Rainbow City was deeply engraved in his heart, and Giles would never forget it. Kozihir smiled grimly. Originally, I was afraid that this boy would leave the province, but who knew that the spot in the Mori family would be given to him? God is really helping me. Naturally, Kusai would not let this opportunity go. Brother Jess? Tanzanian greeted Jason, but Jason just responded casually and paid no attention to Tanzanian, who frowned and couldn't help but feel confused. Is there some conflict between the Mori family and the Naton family? He had also seen Jason's weird expression before, and couldn't help but guess that Tanzan was wondering, but he saw Kosai Hill sneering and walking away. Come over, oh huh. Jason pulled out the black heavy sword behind him, and the spiritual god art in his body started to operate quickly. At the same time, the lightning wings were ready to be used at any time, and his spiritual consciousness was even more powerful. Tautu reached out to the elixir in the space ring on his left hand and was ready to take it at any time. Although Jason knew that he was not a match for the 7th level low-level Imperial Spiritual Master Kasai Zil, he had the wings of lightning and a large number of elixirs, but he is full of confidence in escaping from the opponent's hands. Is it you who killed Elder Lazaisui of the Naton family? Kashir's eyes shot out with cold murderous intent, staring at Jason, but it frightened Tanzan, who was standing beside him. 1-0, which piece of trash are you talking about? I killed so many pieces of trash that I can't remember them all. Jason snorted coldly at the entrance of the road indifferently, and his body shot over instantly. You dare to kill people from my Naton family, you are really looking for death. Kashir's face was extremely ferocious. The spiritual god technique in Jason's body started to work crazily in an instant. What are you doing? A cold snort resounded in the sky above the clearing. At the same time, a figure quickly inserted between Kasihir and Jason. It was the guard captain not far away. Get out of the way, this matter has nothing to do with you. This kid killed a member of my Naton family. I must kill him today. Cornhill said angrily. Bold, the guard captain also shouted. He stared at Kasai Sierra and pulled out the long sword from his waist. Although the spiritual power fluctuations in his body were only at the level of a 6th level spiritual master, he was not afraid of being a 7th level Imperial spiritual master. Kashal, at the same time, the team of guards not far away also rushed over. Cozy here frowned, and then swayed, trying to jump over the guard captain and kill Jason. With his strength as a 7th-level low-level Imperial spiritual master, if he really deliberately avoided the guard captain would not be able to touch him at all. Feeling the violent spiritual elements that were rapidly condensing in the air, just when Jason was about to use the wings of lightning to fly back quickly, watch it. A roar of forgiveness suddenly sounded like a thunderbolt in the clearing among the mountains and forests. At the same time, Jason only saw a golden light flashing. Oh boom. Cozy Hill, who turned into a phantom, flew backwards and hit hard on the hard rock ground. A large crater several meters deep was made on it, and at the same time a trace of blood flowed from the corner of Keshel's mouth. A burly man wearing golden armor appeared in front of Kashir and stared at him coldly. Although Kashil was blinded by anger just now, when he saw the person in front of him, he was suddenly awakened by fright. He didn't even bother to wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth, and hurriedly said respectfully, "Lord Aludiba, I, Lord Aludiba, it's Lord Aludiba." What happened here immediately shocked everyone on the scene, and many people exclaimed in surprise when they saw the strong man in golden armor. Even Tanzan, who was standing next to Jason before, couldn't help but trembled with excitement. Huh? Is this the most powerful man in Chir province, the 8th-level low-level Emperor Spiritual Master Aludiba, known as the Tyrant Emperor? Jason looked at the charming and muscular man standing in front of him in confusion. This is a burly man over 2 meters tall, wearing golden armor. Like a golden god of war, his burly figure gives people the feeling of being full of violent power. However, Jason, who was a 9th-level elixir master in his previous life, felt keenly that there seemed to be something wrong with Aludiba's spiritual power. "Koshir, do you want to kill this boy?" Aludiba looked at Kaysir. Seer wanted to say no, but didn't know how to argue. Aludiba, an 8th-level low-level Imperial spiritual master, the head of the Phil family in Chir province, and the actual person in power of the entire Chir province. This spirit, the management rights of the secret realm of the pool are in the hands of the Phil family, and the quota to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool is also controlled by Aludiba. This is the place where the secret realm of the spirit pool is opened, and it is also the place that I, Aludiba, control. Anyone who has the quota to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool will be protected by me, Aludiba. If you still dare to attack this young man, if you take action, then don't blame me for being ruthless. I promise to make you die miserably. Don't challenge my authority again. Yes, I understand. Cozy Hill was trembling in his heart. He also regretted in his heart, how could I forget this? The quota to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool is controlled by the Phil family. Anyone who wants to enter the secret realm of the spirit pool must not do so after coming under the control of the Phil family. Bring in the grudges from outside, let alone take action at will. Those who gather here are all top families from Chir province and even other provinces and cities. There are many who have hatred towards each other, and generally those who come are direct descendants of the family who have been carefully cultivated. If they all attack at will, then isn't it all a mess? Humph. Aludiba glared at him and walked away. Kashil glared at Jason bitterly and said in his heart, "Good luck to you, kid. Unless you don't enter the secret realm of the spiritual pool, otherwise, when we enter the secret realm of the spirit pool, we must kill you to vent our hatred. Now, let you stay clean for a while." This time, he was scolded by Aludiba and beaten to death. Koshir naturally transferred this anger to Jason. "Patriarch, are you okay?" At this time, Giles and others hurried over. "Humph, let's go back." Cozy Hill wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, then gave Jason a cold look and left. "Brother Jess, why did you offend this guy Cozy Hill?" Tanzan looked at Jason in surprise. This guy is famous for his revenge. I can guarantee that he will never give up easily. If possible, you'd better not enter the secret realm of the spirit pool this time. In the secret realm of Lingqi, there is no Master Aludiba to teach you. Jason frowned and said nothing. There is no way he would give up this trip to the secret realm of Lingqi. Moreover, he is not afraid of Keisai Shiji. It is good that the opponent is strong, but Jason really wants to run. The other party couldn't catch up at all. Tanzanian stopped talking after advising Jason. The Natan family was very powerful in Chiur province, and the Mike family did not dare to offend the other party.